Hello, everyone. There I am. There's my face. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another week of Exercise with Exos. Jazzy here, Program Manager for Exos at Autodesk. Really excited for today's workout. So we are back to our themed. It is now fall. So in the future, if any of you guys have themes of fall things, could be also Halloween related, Thanksgiving, and as we get into December, holiday related. But today we are going to be spelling out leaves. So we're going to do that 3 rounds, and we're going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. So I'll go ahead and get right into our demos for the afternoon. So we're going to start off. The L in leaves is going to be lateral squats here. So we're going to have our feet nice and wide, and we're going to take our hips to one side, keeping the other leg nice and straight, push the ground away, and into the other side. Again, keeping the other leg nice and straight, push the ground away. So we're going to alternate sides there. So that's going to be the first thing. And then for our first E, because there's quite a few E's in leaves, if you didn't know, we're going to do eccentric push-ups. So we're on the ground here, either on the hands and toes or on the hands and knees, whatever feels better. And we're going to lower ourselves close to the ground. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then once our chest is on the ground, we can go ahead and get up however you need to. So that is going to be the second movement. And then for our A, we are going to flip over onto our back, and we're going to do some crunches. But of course it's an A, so I said ab crunches, but I know that's a little bit redundant here. So we're going to have our knees up here, 90-degree angles, hands at the head, and we're going to go ahead, exhale, bringing our elbows towards our knees here using that core. So that is going to be the A. And then we have our V. Oh, we need to lay down for our V. So for our V, we have V ups here. So we're going to keep our legs nice and straight, come up, touch the toes, back down. So we're not necessarily getting our whole entire chest off the ground. We're mainly moving the legs, but we're also moving the upper part of the core there. So that is the V. And then for the E, we have eccentric squats here. So we're going to have our feet about hip width apart, and we're going to lower ourselves 3 seconds towards the ground. So we got 1, 2, 3, coming back up. So lowering ourselves nice and slow, and then coming back up. And then finally, for the S in leaves, we have staggered squats. So we are going to alternate here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with one foot. All of our weight's going to be in the other foot. So like everything is in my left foot. My right foot is just kind of hanging out, but it's still staying underneath my hip. So we want to keep that foot as close as it would be as if it were a normal squat. So we're going to squat down, but I'm only using my left foot. And then we'll switch to the other side immediately. So that toe is lined up with the arch of the foot here, but right underneath our hip. So that way we are not leaning over to one side. We don't want it super far out. We also don't want it super far back like a lunge. So keeping those feet directly underneath our hips. And that is going to be our workout for the day. So 3 rounds, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, and we're going to spell leaves. So we're going to go ahead and get into our warm up here. So we're going to start off, and Luis did just put the workout in the chat. So if you're just joining and you have no idea what we're doing today, we are spelling leaves, but that is all going to be in the chat for you to follow along. And we're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch. Y'all know, you guys, I feel like I could have one of you lead the warm up for me one day. So we're going to do world's greatest. So I'm going to start with my right knee, interlace the fingers, pulling that knee towards the chest. Nice big deep breath, and we're going to exhale, step back into that reverse lunge, back leg staying nice and straight, hands on the inside of the front foot. Nice big deep breath, and the left arm is going to go towards the ceiling. We are gazing past our thumb. Nice big deep belly breaths, and we're going to exhale, plant that hand on the outside of our front foot, push ourselves up into the hamstring stretch. And we're going to exhale, bring the right foot next to the left foot. We're going to stand on up. All right, so we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and interlace our fingers, grab onto the left knee, pull the left knee towards the chest. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna exhale, step back into that reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of the front leg here. Back leg is gonna stay nice and straight. We're taking big, deep belly breaths. And we're gonna exhale, bring the right arm towards the ceiling, gazing past our thumb. And we're gonna exhale, plant that hand on the outside of our front foot, push ourselves up into that hamstring stretch. And we're gonna exhale, bring the left foot next to the right foot. We're gonna stand on up. All right, next part of the warm-up, we're gonna go ahead and get onto our hands and knees here. Tilt this down a little bit. We're gonna do our quad rocks with that adductor stretch, get our legs nice and warmed up here. So on the hands and knees, my right leg is gonna go straight out to the side like a kickstand. We're gonna keep that pinky toe on the ground. And we're gonna inhale as we rock back. And then exhale, return to center. We're gonna do it a couple more times here. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, back to center. And last one on this side, inhale, rock back. And exhale, returning to center. Awesome. All right. Now we're going to switch over to the other leg here. So left leg going straight up to the side, keeping that pinky toe flat on the ground here. We're going to inhale, rock back. And exhale, return to center. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, back to center. And last one here, inhale, rock back. And exhaling, returning to center. And from there, we can go ahead and make our way back up to standing. We are ready to rock and roll. So we're starting off at the top, spelling out leaves. We got lateral squats first, 40 seconds of work. Starting the timer here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So feet are going to be nice and wide. And we're going to bring our hips down and back to one side, push the ground away. Using that whole foot, we also want to make sure that from this angle, as we squat to one side, our chest is not at our thigh here. So our chest is staying up. So we're keeping those shoulder blades nice and pinned back. Chest is open, pushing our hips back. It is the same as if we were just doing a regular old squat with 2 legs. But now we're just squatting off to the side with 1 leg. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have eccentric push-ups here. So you can be on your knees or on your toes, whatever feels best. I do recommend challenging yourself, go from your toes, but we only have to lower ourselves so we can get up however we need to. 3, 2, 1. So hands directly below the shoulders, lowering ourselves nice and slow until we're fully on the ground. And then if you'd like to push yourself back up, feel free, or you can get up however you need to. So it's going to help us still build the strength throughout the chest. And it will help us get better to be able to eventually push ourselves up off the ground. Or if you're like me, maybe your chest is just really hurting today. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have crunches. So we're going to be on our backs. Knees are going to be up. We're going to crunch up towards our knees. We're going to do that. And then we have our V up. So we got 2 core exercises back to back. 3, 2, 1. So we're exhaling, using that core to crunch up. Really focusing on keeping that core engaged, and by using the core to bring us up versus using our head. So we want to make sure that we're not gaining any momentum from any other body parts. We also want to make sure that we are not rocking back and forth. So the more intent we have with this movement, the more we're going to feel that in the core. So really focus on driving up, exhaling, pulling ourselves up there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have V ups. So we're going to have the legs straight out, touch the toes, back down, but our whole chest does not need to come off the ground. 3, 2, 1, and we are going. So really keeping the belly button, pushing the belly button into the ground there, and going as low as we can without our low back coming off the ground, or as low as we can without feeling it in our hips. If you were like me, doing 2 legs at a time, does not feel so hot on the hips. So you can always do 1 leg at a time. That feels a little bit better for you. Definitely want to make the right modifications for yourself. 3, 2, 1. Everyone is different. Everyone feels movements differently. So if you're not feeling something the way I maybe am explaining it, let me know and we can work on fixing that for you. All right, we got eccentric squats coming up next. We're gonna lower ourselves nice and slow towards the ground. 3, 2, 1. So keeping those feet hip width apart. Hips are going back nice and slow and then powering back up. So really making sure that our whole foot is pushing through the ground. So we got heel, big toe, little toe coming on up. Our chest is staying open. So we're not fully bending forward. But we also don't want to be straight up and down. So we want that slight bend through the hips, pushing the ground away. This is not feeling so good for you, or AKA it's a little too easy for you maybe. Hopefully it's all too easy for us. Go ahead and grab something there. 3, 2, 1. You're always more than welcome to grab dumbbells or any sort of weight you have if you would like to challenge yourself. We'll never turn you all away from that. All right, we have staggered squats coming up next. We're gonna alternate our legs. 3, 2, 1. So all of our weight is on one foot. The other foot is staying directly below the hip. So if you notice, my foot is not really far out to the side. My foot is also not really far behind me. So from this angle, like I'm really just not putting any weight on that foot, but you can't really tell. It looks like I'm using both of my legs, but I promise you I'm really not. That's where I really want us, if we need to, just go a little bit further back. It should be barely noticeable. It should really be looking like we're just doing squats. We also want to make sure we're not leaning. 3, 2, 1. All right, round 1. Check it off. We got 2 more to go. We're going to start off with our lateral squats here. So we're going to get nice and wide. We got a few more seconds though. 3, 2, 1. So pushing those hips back, keeping that chest up. Our butt is going towards our belly button, getting locked and loaded with our core, making sure that we're breathing as we stand up. Great job. Really keeping our weight over the arch of the foot that we're leaning towards. Y'all are doing great today. I think I'm feeling this morning's workout a little too much. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our eccentric push-ups. So we're going to make our way onto the ground here. And again, either from the knees or from the toes. I would like you all to challenge yourselves. Go from the toes, even if I am not. 3, 2, 1. So hands under the shoulders, lower yourself nice and slow to the ground, and then come back up. The main reason I'm on my knees today for these, and not the toes, if you were in class this morning, you probably heard me already say this, but my shoulder's not feeling so hot today. So I want to make sure I'm taking care of it, but still getting some movement in, but not pushing it so hard that I can't move tomorrow. So definitely, that's why we always focus on recovery, making sure we're taking care of our bodies so we can 3, 2, 1. We want to take care of our body so we can really make sure we can move for longer. All right, next up we have our ab crunches. Another good way to recover is by stretching. We do have another stretch break today. Highly recommend. 3, 2, 1. Crunching up towards our knees, exhaling as we come up. But if you have not been to a stretch break on Thursdays at 2:30, Luis always makes sure to help us out and stretch out what we worked on in this class. So it definitely will help if we all go to that stretch break later. I already request upper body. We got to get chest and shoulder stretches in there, Luis. I know he'll add it in there for us. 3, 2, 1. All right. Can lay here for a little quick nap. And we have V-ups coming up next. We're gonna get ready. Oh man, now I'm yawning because I said nap. I guess it is nap time. Class is over. We're gonna sleep the rest of the time. Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Push that belly button into the ground. Exhale, touching our toes. But again, we don't necessarily have to lift our whole upper body up off of the ground. We're really just using our legs, then also bringing our arms up. We're really going to engage the entire front of our core here, as well as our low back muscles by keeping that low back plastered on the ground by pushing our belly button into the ground. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are going to stand on up. We have our slow eccentric squats first, and then we have our staggered squats, and then we got one more round, and then we're going to cool down and get on with the rest of this lovely Thursday. 3, 2, 1. So we got slow squats first, so lowering about 3 seconds. But if you want to challenge, if you want to go 4 seconds, we can do 4. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, powering back up. We did 4 seconds for our RDLs this morning, which I feel like always makes it a little bit more challenging than 3 seconds. So try and make it as long as you can to get towards the ground, going slowly on the way down. It's going to help us really engage a few more muscle fibers there. So it's really good for strength and performance. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have staggered squats. So we're gonna have all of our weight on one leg. I can't get back up, you guys. My legs are not feeling this. All right, we made it. Ready for staggered squats. 3, 2, 1. So all of our weight is in our one leg, our working leg. So that was my left leg. Now it's all in my right leg, but I'm still keeping my chest directly over my center of mass. My chest is not leaning over to my right side right now. Keep that chest in the middle, squat like you normally would. We're just only using that leg. So now I'm going to use my left. Same thing. You can see my chest is staying directly over my center of mass. So my chest is staying in between my feet as I squat down and come back up. But still, again, only using that one leg. 3, 2, 1. All right. Nice job, y'all. We got one more round coming on up. We got lateral squats to start. And then, as always, if you all have any theme ideas, any words you'd like me to spell out, 3, 2, 1, definitely send them my way if you have ideas. I am going to try and only use words with the letter B in it sparingly. Okay, I know we don't like burpees. They are good for us, but it is also always good to give our bodies a little bit of a rest. So we're not doing so many burpees, but then also, having different waves of difficulty during classes will help us recover. So that way we can really, again, show up really nice to that next class. Nice and refreshed. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have eccentric push-ups next. You can probably tell that my upper body's not feeling so hot because we only have one upper body movement in this workout today. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hands under the shoulders. Making sure to, oh, that was not slow. That was a full push-up. Making sure that we're starting with our hands directly in front. We're ending with our hands down towards the ribs and then pushing back up. That's really going to help us engage that chest right in that area. So really making sure that we're starting with our hands by the shoulders. We are ending with our hands by the bottom of our rib cage. Keeping those elbows about 45 degrees. Really engaging our chest here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Flipping over onto our back. We have ab crunches first and then V-ups. And then we got our 2 squats and then we're done for the afternoon. Unless, of course, you want to take a dance class right after this and you're not going to be done. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, bringing our elbows towards the knees. Really engage in the core, focusing on the intent of the movement. The intent is to not use our head, neck, and shoulders to get up. The intent is to really come up just using the core. Don't want to have any neck strain in this movement here. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have V-ups. Last one of these. We only have 3 more movements left. Making them count. It's our last round, best round. 3, 2, 1. And we are touching our toes, belly button into the ground. I feel like I only just yawned there because I'm laying on my back. Apparently, anytime I lay on the ground, it means my body's ready to take a nap / go to bed. Definitely probably why I'm so sore is because I'm so tired. And that's why, again, I'm just going to tell everyone every day how much it's really important to sleep and recover so that way our bodies feel good and our minds as well. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are done on the ground. We're going to go ahead and stand on up for our last 2 movements. We have eccentric squats and we have our staggered squats. And then we are going to cool down and have a great rest of our day. 3, 2, 1. So again, either anywhere from 3 to 4 seconds is what I want us to aim for. So if we're doing 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also making sure we're going down as low as we can without our form faltering. So we want to make sure that we're doing them as well as we can. We do not have to go all the way to the ground if we're going to start to feel it in our back, or if we are going to start to have our pelvis moving, anything like that. Really make sure you do not go down as far. If you're not sure, if you're not doing it correctly, definitely let either myself or Louise know. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have staggered squats and then we're going to be done. But as I was saying, if you need a form check, let us know. We can set up a call and kind of help you work through maybe some issues, some pain, or any discrepancies in the movement. All right, last thing, 3, 2, 1. Last exercise, making it our best round here. Last set, best set. Like I said earlier, keeping that chest in the middle. We are not leaning to one side. Our foot is staying as close to right under our hip as we can. Great job keeping that chest up, core tight, back flat. Great job. We're almost there. Really getting some good single leg work in here with these, as well as those lateral squats. 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be our workout today. Nice job, y'all. Nice job. All right, when we're ready, go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And we are going to make our way to the ground here, and we are going to lie on our backs. And this is probably going to be the only cool down we ever are going to need. My favorite stretch, okay, we're going to do our Pretzel here. It's going to help us actually stretch everything out as well as calm our heart rate down in our breathing. So we're going to make our way to the ground. I'm going to start on my left side here. If you need to grab a pillow, something to rest your head on, feel free to do that right now. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take my top leg, bring it up over and across my body here, and then my bottom hand going on top of that knee. With my top hand, I'm going to grab onto my bottom foot or ankle. If you need a blanket or a towel or a resistance band to wrap around your ankle, feel free to grab something. Once we are ready, we are here. We're going to take a nice big deep inhale, and we're going to exhale and open up towards the ceiling. So we're bringing that top arm towards the ground. The goal here is to get that back nice and flat on the ground. We're taking deep belly breaths through the nose, exhaling a little bit longer than our inhales, really relaxing into the stretch. Like I said, this is a double whammy. So we're breathing nice and slow as if we would normally when we do child's pose to calm our heart rates down. But this one's going to really help us calm down as well as stretch out our lower body. We're stretching out our chest a little bit, and we're getting some rotation through the spine. So it's really going to help us really cool down and relax after that class. Great job, y'all. Let's go ahead and do one more deep breath here. And either on or after that exhale, we can gently release out of the stretch, and we're going to flip over onto the other side. So now I will be on my right side. And we are going to go through the same checklist here. So that top leg is going to come up, over, and across our body. Bottom hand on top of that knee. And then we're going to grab onto our bottom leg with the top hand. And we're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. You may feel that maybe this side feels better than the other side, or maybe vice versa. We really want to breathe into any tight spots here. Fully relax the body with each exhale. Longer exhales than our inhales will help our heart rate go down, help us prepare our body to go eat our lunches. Let's go ahead. We're going to do one more deep breath in this position here. And either on or after that exhale, gently release that bottom leg. And you can stay on the ground if you'd like, or you can go to seated, kneeling, standing, but that is going to be all that I have for today's exercise with Exos. So thank you all so much for joining me. As always, we do have our stretch break at 2:30 and abs core mobility, both with Louise today. And then we do have dance with John right now. So if you want to get a quick dance workout in, definitely join him there. But great job today. Thank you for joining me. And then if you have any suggestions on words to spell, definitely send them my way. But thank you all. Have a great day.